Get answers to 10 important retirement questions right now on Retiring Today. This is Retiring Today. I'm here with Haley Gutschenritter and Loren Merkle. Haley is a certified financial planner. Loren is also a certified financial planner and a retirement income certified professional and a certified financial fiduciary. So here's what we want to do today. We want to answer 10 of your most important retirement questions. So here it is, because I don't want you to miss the answer to the question that's burning in your mind. So here's the questions we are going to answer today. How much money do I need to retire? When do most people retire? You're going to be surprised at some of the answers here. Number 3, should I pay off my mortgage before I retire? Should I take my pension as an annuity or a lump sum? How should I invest my money when I retire? How will I afford medical expenses in retirement? When should I claim Social Security? How do I spend from my retirement accounts? How will retirement change my life? And what will taxes in retirement look like?
That's a full show. That's a full show.
Hey,
right
challenge accepted though, right?
Absolutely.
We can do this. We can answer these.
Well, these are some of the most pressing questions that pre-retirees have, and as we encounter these questions almost on a daily basis. So today we're going to talk about all 10 of those questions and really try to give some really pithy answers to the questions to make sure that you can have your questions answered as you're looking to transition to retirement.
And what I love about these questions is if you're not thinking about this already, well, now you have an idea of what some of the questions will be when retirement approaches. So it's a great idea to start planning now, because these are the questions that we get every single day.
And I should probably let the viewers in on something. Each one of these people could talk about each of these questions for 30 minutes, because there is always a lot of if, ands, and your situation. So we're going to talk about an opportunity to talk specifically about your situation. So we're going to give some high-level answers, maybe one, action step on each of these, but they all have long answers because, well, retirement is 20 to 30 years.
It is 20 to 30 years, and it's one of the most important phases of your life. You want to make sure you get it right. You get one chance to make that transition from the working world to the retirement world right. A lot of these decisions you are going to have to make are going to be permanent decisions. We got to get it right.
Yeah, let's talk about, I think, the number one thing that you guys hear, the number one thing you talk about in these 15-minute retirement checkup calls. You guys hear it a lot. How much money do I need to retire? Haley, people want, they want some kind of number. They want a magic number.
They do want a magic number, and that's so hard because this is a loaded question. And the real answer behind this question is to look at your lifestyle. Everybody's lifestyle is going to look different in retirement. You have different dreams, you have different goals, you have different visions, and you have to look at what your lifestyle is going to cost you in retirement to identify how much do you need to save for retirement.
So what is the magic number then? How do you kind of work backwards when you're working with people, Loren?
Yeah, the magic in this number is it's whatever your portfolio is going to be able to deliver the lifestyle that you really want. It is truly a custom number, but it's really confusing. I just read an article last week that said you need $3 million. Don't even think about retiring unless you have, but I could tell you, we have people that retire almost every single month. They have way less than $3 million. So it's a matter of building that plan. Here's what your lifestyle is going to be. Here's the activities, things you're going to do. Here's how much it's going to cost. And yes, let's work backwards. You have $1 million saved, $500,000 saved, whatever that is for you. You have Social Security. Here's ways to maximize or optimize your Social Security. Maybe you have a pension. Here's how you're going to deliver all of that within your overall income plan as a component of your overall retirement plan.
Yeah, I think people forget it's more than what you have saved. There's a lot of other ways to generate income, investments, and all that stuff in retirement. Okay.
Yeah.
We're ready for number 2?
2.
Number 2 is an interesting one because I think people, the question is, when do most people retire? And I think people are kind of looking at their neighbors and going, hey, you doing 65 or you doing 63? You work until 70, and they want to know, when are other people retiring?
Yeah, and sometimes people really want to retire. Sometimes people don't want to retire. They're not in a rush. But the fact of the matter is at some point everybody is going to retire. At least that's the hope. But there's different reasons for that. I can tell you the median age for retirement is age 62 as we look across this country. But the average age that most people expect to retire is 65 plus. In fact, 64% of people anticipate retiring age 65 plus. However, there are many reasons why people may not be able to retire at age 65 plus. Some of those reasons you can control. Some of those reasons you can't control. So this is a study that was conducted, and here are some examples of reasons why people have to retire prior to age 65 that you just can't control. And no surprise, the number one reason is health or disability. And we have seen that quite a bit. But also company downsizing. This has been an increasing reason why people have to retire prior to 65, especially since COVID. A lot of companies have been downsizing, consolidating their workforce. A lot of people are working at home, and companies feel like they don't need as many, so people have been forced out of their company. Care for spouse, family member, outdated skills, or other work-related reasons. All of those are reasons why you can't control your retirement time. Here's some reasons that people can control. Able to afford early retirement, we do see this as we create retirement plans for families who are looking to retire. Let's say that Mr. and Mrs. Jones, they want to retire at age 65. We create them a plan that actually says they can afford to retire at 63. And now they start thinking what retirement at age 63 would look like. And they're saying, you know what? At this point, time is more valuable than working an extra couple years to them, so they retire at 63. That does happen all the time. Want to do something else. You just get tired in the profession that you've been working in for the last 20, 30, 40 years, and something else excites you. You find new passion in something else, and you want to move on to another vocation. Employer offered incentive to retire early, or COVID risk. So there's a whole lot of reasons why people do retire prior to 65. Sometimes they can control it, sometimes they don't. The point is that they have to be ready financially to retire whenever that day does come.
Yeah, and I think it's always good to put stats around stuff, some real research that's been done on this, because Haley, if this doesn't do anything for the people that are out there watching, I think it should be a reminder that there's never too early to start planning. If you're 60 but you're thinking about working until 70, great. We hope that that's what you get to do, but you guys have seen it. You've seen it in your career. Sometimes people have to retire early. It's better to retire with a plan.
It's never too early to start planning for retirement. And often what we see is that when people come in with this anticipated date in mind in their head, it's often what doesn't actually play out because life changes. And that is what's so powerful about having a plan, is that it's fluid. It changes with you. So if you do have health reasons that make you have to retire sooner, or if you do have other factors that make you work later, at least the plan is there to alleviate the stress and the worry and can show you what does it look like to retire later, what does it look like to retire sooner than my planned date.
Okay, so I talked about that 15-minute retirement checkup call. Let's put that information on screen. This is good because we're going to talk about 10 things today. And again, we're not going to give you the 30-minute answer to each one of these. We're going to give you the 3-minute answer. But you've got questions about your specific situation. And this is a great opportunity to talk directly with a retirement planner. You can go to merkleretire.com right now and schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call to talk about what's on your mind. But we've got 8 more retirement questions to answer next.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
Anytime I have even the smallest question about my accounts or what effect the latest tax law might have on my situation, the Merkle Retirement Planning team is always there and quick to help. I'm so glad they treat you like family. I'm so happy to have such an excellent team working for my future and ensuring I do the best to achieve my financial goals.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
This is Retiring Today. I'm here with Haley Gutschenritter and Loren Merkle, and we are answering 10 of your most important retirement questions. It's time for number 3. Should I pay off my mortgage before I retire?
Well, you're going to love the answer to this, and the answer is really, it depends. There are pros to paying off your mortgage. One of them is that you would have more control over your income in retirement. The reason why is because you would have less fixed expenses, which means that you have more control over that discretionary income if you need to spend that income or not. But I will say that most retirees have saved and saved and saved in these pre-tax vehicles, and they've never paid taxes on this money before. So if you are going to be withdrawing a large lump sum from your IRA accounts, well, that's a taxable distribution. So you want to make sure that if paying off your mortgage is something that you want to accomplish, that it incorporates in your plan and it's done in the most tax efficient manner.
What we're seeing is more and more people are going into retirement with a mortgage. But what we do a lot of times is we'll create an accelerated mortgage repayment plan because they don't want to carry that mortgage for the next 10, 20, 25 years into the retirement. So we'll take a look at the resources they have and how are those resources going to be taxable, and maybe we'll accelerate that to a 5-pay, right? They'll have it paid off within 5 or 3 years to give them more discretion on their monthly income, which gives them more control over where this monthly income is actually going.
Yeah, I think there's some good tips to take out of the answers you guys gave, but I think what we're going to see, we've got 7 more of these, is that it just kind of depends on your overall situation. Don't make that decision, hey, we've got to pay off the mortgage, but then have maybe some other debt that's at a higher interest rate that you aren't, paying off. I mean, that wouldn't be a good decision.
Yeah, and the biggest debt that most pre-retirees and retirees have is the debt to the IRS. And we don't want to be so focused on saying, I can't go into retirement with a mortgage, I can't go into retirement with a mortgage, and then have a 30% expense off of the distribution you take from your IRA just to pay off the mortgage. There's a lot better ways that we can pay off the mortgage through an accelerated repayment program.
Question number 4, should I take my pension as an annuity or a lump sum?
This is something that we have to evaluate for everybody. The annuity, most pensions today will offer a lump sum, and that is a very attractive option for many people. With that pension, you want to compare what is the monthly annuity payment that they would pay you versus what that lump sum amount is, and then look at the break-even age for that annuity versus the lump sum. A lot of the good pensions, like the state of Iowa pension, that break even for most people is going to be somewhere around 9 to 10 years. That is really nice, which is why with IPERS, very few people are going to take the lump sum. They're going to take the monthly payment. For other corporate pensions, that break even might be out to the 14 to 15 years. Well, then for a lot of people, it's more attractive to take the lump sum, have more control over that money. So you just want to evaluate what the annuity payment versus the lump sum, and then also the other resources you have for retirement. That will give you a complete answer.
And one thing that often people don't think about is the financial strength of the pension company. So that should go into the equation as well. If the pension company wasn't financially strong and you were concerned that they wouldn't be able to pay out your pension if you elected that, well then that may defer you to a lump sum option. But again, that's going back to the fundamentals of the company and seeing how great their financial strength is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Every once in a while we hear about a company going under and then the pension plan being, impacted by that.
Yeah.
Question number 5, how should I invest my money when I retire? And I want a 1-sentence answer from you. That's it, 1 sentence.
1 sentence? You're asking for a lot, Molly, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Okay.
How about this one? You're going to need to invest it differently.
That is a great start.
Which is different than what a lot of people think. A lot of people think, well, you've been investing for the last 40 years. It has worked to get you to the point you're at. So why not continue to invest it the same way? Well, we do know through experience that continuing on with the same accumulation investment style through your decumulation years doesn't always work, because we go through these things called recessions on average every 5 to 6 years. 2022 is a great example of when the NASDAQ was down 34%, the S&P 500 was down 20%, the average 60% equity, 40% bond portfolio was down in excess of 20%. That's not the experience that most pre-retirees or retirees want from an investment portfolio. When you're 40 years old, you're down 30%, kind of like an 08, 30% plus. It's not fun, but it's okay because you have more time. When you need to take an income from your life savings and it's down 30+%, that can destroy retirement. So you have to invest differently in retirement than what you're used to pre-retirement.
So on top of that, a good place to start when you're thinking about how I should invest my money in retirement is understanding the amount of risk that you are taking in your portfolio. Because if you can understand the amount of risk that you're taking, that's going to give you less surprises when we do incur these market corrections or these recessions and prevent you from making any knee-jerk decisions with your investments.
Yeah, we call that managing expectations. If you know prior to going into these downturns in the market that you're taking risks that your portfolio would be down 15%, maybe as opposed to 30%, and you're comfortable with that? Well, when your portfolio goes down 15%, that's just a part of the investment package that you put together, and you're not surprised by it. Eliminating or at least minimizing those surprises can go a long way when investing in retirement.
Yeah, you guys talk a lot about helping families build recession-resistant portfolios, and I think, of course, if you don't do what Loren and Haley do, that's kind of a big concept, right? But a really neat way to see exactly what that looks like is our online Journey to Retirement workshop.
Yeah, we give a really good example in our online Journey to Retirement workshop of how Mr. and Mrs. Jones do create a recession-resistant portfolio, and we go one step further and compare that to what their portfolio was pre-retirement, and why and how they made those changes so they can manage the downsides of their portfolio in one of the most important times of their life where they're actually dependent, their lifestyle is dependent upon that portfolio surviving the rest of their life.
So if you want to see this play out, you can sign up for our online Journey to Retirement workshop. The information is on your screen right now. We've got another question to answer though. 6, oh, this is a big one. How will I afford medical expenses in retirement? You guys have seen the numbers, so I pulled some of the latest stuff. Fidelity does a study every year, and they say that an average couple age 65 in 2022 made in approximately $315,000 saved after tax to cover healthcare expenses. By the way, that does not include long-term care.
There's a lot of people smiling about the show probably before the number of 315,000, and then you're sitting there on the couch saying, I only have 600,000, only 600. 600,000 is a lot of money.
Right.
But then you look at 315,000 in retirement for healthcare alone.
It's gone. You feel like it'd be gone. Your money would be gone.
Not including long-term care. Like, how is this going to work? And I can tell you there's a lot of people that do retire with $500,000, $600,000, $400,000, and can still afford health care throughout the course of the retirement. You have to make the health care plan a big part of your overall retirement and income plan to make sure that you're confident and you're comfortable saying you're not going to work anymore for the rest of your life, and you're still going to be able to provide from a health care standpoint, because you can do it, but you have to build that healthcare plan into your retirement plan, and hopefully you do that before you retire.
And that's really the benefit of having Anna Marie here. She is our healthcare director at Merkle Retirement Planning, and so she works alongside with us so that we can build the healthcare plan into their retirement plan. It's something that we know you're going to have expenses for later down the road, so it needs to be built into your income plan, and there are strategies that Anna Marie talks about that can help them afford healthcare even if you do retire before age 65.
Yeah, we saw in the last segment 64% of people expected to retire at 65 plus. I think a lot of that has to do with eligibility for Medicare at age 65, but the median retirement age is actually 62, which means there's a whole lot of people out there that have to find this gap insurance from 62 to Medicare age eligibility of 65, and Anna Marie helps out a lot with our families to find that gap, whether it's the ACA or the open healthcare market or COBRA insurance, whatever that is, to make sure that gap's filled.
We answer 4 more important retirement questions next.
The Merkle Retirement Planning Team provides personable and professional expertise unrivaled in this area. They include us in every step of the planning process. The peace of mind provided to us by the Merkle team allows us to fully enjoy this special time of our lives. Instead of feeling snakebit, we feel confident that with the Merkle Retirement Planning Team at our sides, we can navigate any challenge that comes our way.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
This is Retiring Today. I'm here with Haley Gutschenritter and Loren Merkle. We are answering 10 of your most important retirement questions. We're on number 7. When should I claim Social Security?
Well, you have up to 81 different options as far as how you can claim your Social Security benefit, which is way different than what most people think, because you get the Social Security statement, or you used to. Now, most people have to log in online. at ssa.gov to find out what their benefit is. But you look at the 3 different amounts, age 70, the full retirement age, and then age 62, the first age of election. And some people think, well, I have 3 options, or maybe every year I can choose to elect the benefits, but up to 81 different options. And that complexity is a really good thing. I mean, it can be daunting to sort through those and figure out which is the best for you, but this is one of the things that we do within our overall planning process for the families that we work with. Sort through the 81 different options, take into consideration everything, whether they have a pension, their investment assets, what your cash flow requirements are in retirement, and then where you're going to generate that. Do you delay? Do you not delay? Because there's benefits and disadvantages to all of those options, and what's right for you is going to be dependent upon all of those specific factors.
And you're exactly right. It's not a siloed decision. So when you're just looking at Social Security in its most simplest form, a lot of people think, I'm going to delay Social Security because the longer I delay, the higher the benefit I get, so therefore I maximize my Social Security income. But the truth is that you have to make that decision while looking at all the other pieces of your retirement plan. Because if you're in retirement and you need an income, but you don't have a pension income turned on, and you don't have Social Security yet turned on, that means you're withdrawing down your portfolio. So often what we see is people are withdrawing down their portfolio at a quicker rate than what they should have if they otherwise turn on Social Security sooner. So that decision is really all over the board, but the benefits of having a plan is that we can show you what that decision looks like if you were to elect it sooner versus delaying it.
And that visual really is key with Social Security or any of these decisions that families have to make, because we can say it's better for you to take your Social Security early or late, but once you see it, once you see the short-term and long-term impact, the Social Security decision actually is one of the easiest decisions that our families can make once they have that visual in front of them.
Well, I know exactly where people can go to see that visual. This is a really great opportunity. It's our online Journey to Retirement workshop. You show Bob and Sue electing Social Security and the decision before them.
We go through a handful of decision options that Bob and Sue have, and we talk through the implications of each one of those decisions. What if they make this decision? What if they make this decision? And then we ultimately show you where Bob and Sue land on their decision and the why behind it. And your decision probably will be substantially different than Bob and Sue, but you'll see the methodology and the philosophy around electing and some of the things, the reasoning that you should go through to determine what is going to be your best decision.
Number 8, how do I spend from my retirement accounts?
I love this question because really this comes back to tax diversification. The more tax diversified accounts that you have, or the different tax buckets that you've accumulated throughout life, can help us build an income plan so that when you're spending from your retirement accounts, we can deliver the income that you need while also mitigating the taxes that you have. And so that's from a taxation standpoint, but then also what we're doing is we're looking at the markets. We're seeing what are the markets doing? Are they down? Are they up? What are the other types of accounts that you have? And where's the best place to deliver income from an efficiency standpoint, from performance and from a tax standpoint?
How will retirement change my life? Number 9, this is a good one.
And it's fun this is probably one of the most rewarding aspects of what we do on a day-to-day basis, is we get to live that transition with most of our families, and we get to see what their life is like prior to retiring, and then we get to see what their life is like. Just the other day I met with somebody, and he was telling me about the change in his life. He just retired in March, and now he's feeling really comfortable. He said it took him probably a couple weeks to feel like he was retired. He felt like he was on vacation for a little bit, but now he has sunk fully into it, and he was just expressing his joy and all of the day-to-day activities that he's going through right now. It's just a lot of fun.
That's really fun.
And retirement really is a life-changing event. So much changes when you retire. I mean, if you're thinking about it, you're working for 30 years, you've built up these friendships, this community, you built up this sense of identity and purpose in your career, and now when you flip that switch, you may have lost some of those things that were important to you beforehand. So when you think about retiring, I always like to advise people to think about not retiring from something, but retiring into something. What are the things that you want to do to fill your time in retirement? Do you have a passion? Do you like running? Do you like writing? Because when you're ready to retire, you want to make sure that you have something for you when you come to that stage so that you can continue to live out your purpose and feel really fulfilled in your retirement.
That cannot be overlooked. Don't retire from something, retire into something, and that's why the lifestyle piece of the overall plan is probably the most important. If you have something to wake up to every day, something that excites you, something that you find fulfillment and purpose, that is going to change the rest of your life. And many people have found that during the working years in a lot of different ways, but sometimes that gets lost when you make that transition from the working to the retirement world. So try to stay away from retiring from, retire into, and build out that lifestyle plan prior to retirement.
Yeah, and the fun thing for the families and individuals that we work with is they have that stress taken off of the financial side of things so they can focus on the fun. We've got one more, and you two, I'm challenging you. I'm going to give you 30 seconds on this because I want to talk a little bit more about Bob and Sue because people are like, let's learn more about Bob and Sue.
Yeah.
30 seconds. What will taxes in retirement look like?
They're going to look a little bit different.
Okay, let's start.
Ideally, if you have an intentional tax plan, the benefit of taxes in retirement versus the working years is if you have that intentional tax plan, now you have more control over the tax bill that you pay. When you're working, you're just taxed W-2, most of you, and you're trying to make as much money as you can. The more money you make, the more you're taxed. In retirement, if you can create tax diversification, now you can still make a lot of money, but be taxed differently and less.
Yeah, and taxes actually go with all of this other stuff because you've mentioned taxes several times previous to this question, so we know that that's the overarching theme in a comprehensive retirement plan.
Oh yeah, taxes are the #1 wealth eroding factor in someone's retirement plan. So it's so important to have a plan in place and take advantage of every year that goes by so that you're making sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunities that you have available to you today. Nothing's going to change the fact that taxes are painful to pay, right? And you will have to pay taxes in retirement, but in retirement, it's not about how much you pay in taxes, it's about how much you get to keep.
And here's a great opportunity for you. It's that online Journey to Retirement workshop. Check out the information on your screen right now. There's a website, retirewithmerkle.com. There's also a QR code there. You can take out your cell phone, open up the camera, hover over the QR code, and then you'll go to a website where you can choose a time and a date that works for you. And you can go on a journey with John and Sue. You can see all the decisions that they make heading into retirement. And Loren, you'll see John and Sue put more spendable income into their retirement plan.
Just from a tax savings alone, you'll see how John and Sue cut 6 figures off of their retirement tax bill, plus all of the other strategies that are involved within their retirement plan. It is a must-see if you're looking to make that transition to retirement.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn in the online Journey to Retirement workshop, and on this show, it's Retiring Today, and we thank you for watching.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
The Merkle Retirement Planning Team provides personable and professional expertise unrivaled in this area. They include us in every step of the planning process. The peace of mind provided to us by the Merkle team allows us to fully enjoy this special time of our lives. Instead of feeling snakebit, we feel confident that with the Merkle Retirement Planning Team at our sides, we can navigate any challenge that comes our way.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.